One place for parents to talk with people who understand is the San Diego chapter of Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, or PFLAG.
We're here to support, educate, and advocate on behalf of gays, lesbians, bisexuals, transgendered, and their families. Our main meeting is here in San Diego, and that consists of some kind of an educational program and followed by support groups. We also have support groups throughout the county on different evenings.
My son came out 6 years ago, almost 7. He took it on the chin pretty badly.
Ron and Diane Getz have stayed active with PFLAG in order to give back.
I can understand why a parent would get very upset. Ron and I, through PFLAG, have talked with some parents who have a lot of grief issues after their children come out.
The single best thing that parents can do for themselves is to get support. And PFLAG meetings are an ideal place for that. Oftentimes, parents are not sure how friends or family are going to react. They hope they're going to be supportive, but they just don't know until they actually take that step of telling them. At a PFLAG meeting, they're guaranteed the people there at the meeting are going to be supportive of them, and that they're going to be knowledgeable of the situation that they're dealing with. Everyone who's there is there for the same reason.
I think accepting your child as gay is like a grief process. You go through it in steps. Anger, denial, bargaining, the whole thing.
Kathy Dunn has been through that process with her child, Danny.
About age 14, I think 13 and a half, 14, Danny came to us and said, with a friend, by the way, because Danny was afraid she might get kicked out of the house, announced that she was lesbian, which was a surprise, but not totally a surprise to me. Her dad went, "No way, I know gay people, and Danny's not one of them." Bottom, flat out, that's it. And needless to say, we didn't kick Danny out of the house.
The first time I came out to my parents, I had one of my best friends with me, and he said that I should say, "I think I might be gay," because that would be less of an attack on them. It would just be kind of like easing them into it. So I said that, and so my mom was being pretty accepting, saying, "Okay, well, we can explore this, like figure out whether you are or not." And my dad was saying a bunch of really weird stuff, but he really didn't seem to like that.
But then as a couple years later, Danny came to me and said, "I'm a guy, I'm transgender." And that was a surprise to me, because I didn't even think about it. You don't hear a lot about female-to-male transgender. You hear more about male-to-female and drag queens or whatever. Again, my husband says, "No, Danny's too girly. Yes, there are such a thing as transgender people, but Danny's definitely not one of them."
Later, when I came out as trans, I made sure that I was really, really sick, because no mother in her right mind would kick out a poor, sick child. Nobody can be that heartless, I figured.
So basically, junior high and high school is when you really saw Danny going more to the guy side and basically shunning almost anything that was female.
At a certain point, I was trying to get out of wearing dresses or anything like that.
Danny seemed pretty adamant that Danny was now a he.
I really want to be a guy, and I want to stop with all this junk about being a girl.
When Danny came out as transgender, that was different. One of my first thoughts was, "Oh, lesbian, fine, I'll go to that, but I started researching it. I did go to PFLAG because I needed somebody to talk to, and with Danny's dad saying, no way, and not discussing it at all, I needed somebody for support, and I needed somebody to be able to talk to. The first meeting, I think I cried mostly.
Dad has problems with it, had problems with it then, will probably always have problems with it. So it's tough dealing with him, but I still love him. He's my dad. I'd like him to be more accepting, or be able to talk to him about something other than sports without having a fight.
When Danny came out as trans, the vision of her having a baby and, just going through all those kind of things with her, it was painful, thinking that I'm not going to have that. I definitely felt sad that, I'm sort of losing my girl, losing my child. When something would come up that Danny would seem more feminine, quote unquote, than a man normally is, I get that glimmer going, maybe Danny's realizing he's not he.
I'm definitely not a lesbian. I wish I was. Lesbians are hot. No, it would be a lot easier if I was a lesbian, but no, I'm a straight guy.
Danny's been pretty adamant about it for quite a few years now, and look back, I'd like to have 2 boys and a girl, but if I have to have 3 boys, that's okay too, because Danny's a good kid, and I'll take Danny any which way.
A resolution derived through the help of others.
It just is an outlet, and I'm very thankful PFLAG's around, because they held my hand when I was crying. I've started a little support group with some parents just so we can practice saying he, she, or discuss surgeries or whatever, and that's helpful for me too. In actuality, you don't lose your child. They're still the same person there. It's just they look a little different.
It amazes me how supportive my mom is.
Believe your child. It really hurts kids to say, no, you're wrong. I mean, these are not things taken lightly by the gay or transgender person. It's not just a whim. Be supportive of them. Don't kick them out of the house, because that happens a lot. And try to get as much information as you can.
Don't give up on the dreams. I mean, at least to the extent that, we can't dictate any of our children's lives. Heterosexual children don't necessarily fulfill their parents' dreams of having children or getting married or choosing a career that their parents visualized. So, let the blessings pour in and don't worry too much.
It's ultimately his decision, and I love him whatever his decision is.
As they learn more and realize there really isn't anything wrong with being gay. In fact, many parents find that this opens up a whole new world to them, and they really appreciate that they were able to grow as a person and understand more the diversity of the world. They really appreciate that their child has given them this opportunity.
Such revelations don't come easy. There is a journey.
If you want to make something of your life, you're going to have to do it. If you want someone to love you have to love yourself. I met some people who really wanted to help me better my life and stuff like that, and I started living with them, and that's where I got my first job.
Today, Raymond Portillos has a place of his own at the Sunburst Youth Housing Project, sponsored by the San Diego LGBT Center. He's attending college, he's involved in politics, and now has a clear focus on what he wants for his future.
It's kind of hard to believe. It really is. Like, I think about it sometimes, I'm like, whoa. Like, I've been, from being around the most lowest people of society to some of the higher people of society, it just amazes me, truly.
Positive change made by reaching out.
Basically made up my own family out of the support from my community. And I know I've made a lot of friends, and they're basically my family. I mean, I'd love to have a better relationship with my real family, but I know it'll never happen. If I didn't have that support, I'd still be on drugs in the street.
Even if parents aren't involved, I think having a GSA or a group like GLSEN or PFLAG, where there are other adults who maybe aren't their parents, who communicate that, I care about you, you're valuable to me. You're not a disposable person. I think that can fill that need also.